and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good and wonderful people of the tube. Hope you're all today, hope you're feeling grand, and all is well in your world. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to A&Q Thursday, everybody. Let's get to question one today. Question one is difficult to answer, but I put this question to you as well, people of the tube. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. So, question one today is, I wondered if there's any bands where you love the guitarist, but you wish you could pull them out of context of the band they are in, as another aspect of the music they play irritates you. Or alternatively, are there guitarists that you would have loved to see join other bands? For instance, Rory Gallagher in Thin Lizzy. So, is there a guitarist in a band where I don't really like the band? I can't think of any. People of Tube, this is why I'm putting it to you, because I can't actually think of any band that I like where the guitarist, I like the guitarist, but I don't like the band. Because invariably I like the band for the guitar. So it's kind of hard for me to go, oh yeah, I don't want them there, this, that, and the other. I don't think Rory Gallagher, although I like this thing of Rory Gallagher being in Thin Lizzy, I think it would have been cool. I don't think Rory would have fit in any other band other than his. You know, I know the Rolling Stones wanted him and he went to audition with them. But I think Rory was just Rory. And I don't think you could take him out of the context of his music. You know, he had to be him, if that makes any sense. So, I don't think Rory would have fit in Thin Lizzy or any other band or the Rolling Stones or anything like that. Because he was a band. You know, Rory was Rory. So to put him like in a band situation, like another band situation, I don't think it would have worked. I think he would have been himself. But as for kind of taking a guitarist out of context and putting him in somewhere else or hearing him elsewhere, I can't think of any. People of the Tube, can you think of a guitarist or a band where you like the guitarist but don't like the band? And if so, what would you like them to do? Would you like them to be in a different band or whatever? And also, is there a guitarist you would like to, theoretically, obviously, see in another band, like Rory with Thin Lizzy or whatever? You know, let us know in the comments. I'll be very curious to read your comments on that one, because I can't think of anything. Because if I think of, like, you know, taking John Frusciante out of the Chili Peppers and putting him into Manic Street Preachers, say, it's too weird in my brain because of James Dean Bradfield. You know, he's a great guitarist and John's a great guitarist, so it kind of wouldn't work. But I don't know. People of the Tube, what are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment section below. Okay. Because I don't really, like I say, invariably if I like a band, I like it because of the guitarist. Not all the time, you know, like, you know, most of the time I like the band because it's a whole. But it's always the guitar that grabs me first, obviously. So yeah. Just let us know. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Okay, moving on to question 2, people of the tube. Okay, so this is one that I knew was going to come up, and I knew I had to answer it. So let's get on with this one. So, question 2 today is, did you get your tickets for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and how do you feel about seeing them live soon? What are your expectations for the new album, and what will you hope it sounds like? Okay, so let's get the Chili Peppers album bit out of the way first, because I want to talk about the ticket thing first. So, the new album, I don't really care. I don't have any expectations. I don't want to have expectations for the new album, to be honest with you. Just as, you know, just as long as, you know, it's kind of not progressive jazz. You know, that kind of thing. But I don't really have any expectations of what it's going to sound like. I don't care if it sounds like Mother's Milk, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, Californication, By the Way, or Stadium Arcadium. I don't really care. I just want to know what it is, you know. I just want to hear it. I don't really have expectations on it because I don't want to go, I really hope it sounds like this, and then get disappointed if it doesn't. So I haven't got any expectations. There's a lot of and ahhing about it at this point in time, especially on the John Frusciante groups of, you know, oh, I think it'll sound like Mother's Milk or Blood Sugar Sex Magic, or I think they'll go back to their funk things. And then other people saying, oh no, they'll carry on, they'll do something like By the Way, or something like Stadium Arcadium, or Californication, or what. It's like, none of us know until we hear it. So it's really hard to say. So I think it's always best not to have expectations in things like that, because if you have expectations, you can always be disappointed. Whereas if you have no expectations on that kind of thing, you kind of can't be disappointed, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I don't really, it'll be what it'll be. When we hear it, we'll know. And until then, we'll wait. So, did you get a ticket for the Chili Peppers? No, I didn't get a ticket for the Chili Peppers. I won't be seeing them. I've had some very extremely kind people offering to buy me tickets for the gigs, which I've turned down because I'm not having people spending that amount of money. It's too expensive. Way too expensive. It's... I can't afford it either. It's as simple as that. I mean, I won't be going to see him simply because I can't afford it. People have offered to pay, but again, I've turned that down. I'm not having people paying for it. If I can't afford it myself, I'm not going. And in all fairness, I don't think it's a good idea that they're charging the amount they're charging for the tickets and getting away with it. I think it sets a very dangerous precedent for concert ticket prices of the future. I noticed it with Liam Gallagher as well. His ticket prices are up in the hundreds, and I think it's very dangerous because it alienates a lot of fans who don't have that kind of money. I've seen a lot of people. There's a very, 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 very big divide in the Chili Pepper community at this point in time, and the John Frusciante community, over the ticket prices, because some people are like, I can't afford that, and then some people are like, I can't afford it either, but I've just spent money on buying on going, and it just makes me think well, they better be, excuse my language here, people too, but they better be bloody good. John better be on it, and this is what makes me worry, because John's proven to be very flaky in these situations. He doesn't like these situations. And he will know, he's not a stupid man, he will know that all the hoo-ha about the new album and the tour is about him. It's not about Flea, it's not about Anthony, it's not about Chad. It's about John returning to the band and then being a whole again. So all the pressure really lands on John. Because Flea, Anthony and Chad didn't stop touring while John wasn't in the band. They kept going with Josh and they did those albums with Josh. John disappeared for 10 years. He hasn't really done anything in 10 years. He definitely hasn't toured. And it's a whole different kettle of fish. And I have that fear that he won't see the tour through. The man's not exactly consistent, in this kind of thing. And that's what bothers me. And like I say, for what people have paid, they better be bloody good. I do not want people to go pay that much money for a concert, because it's an extremely ridiculous amount, especially for the Golden Circle, the up close to the stage thing, which I think is just... it's annoying. You're alienating your mega fans for people who have got more money. And I don't... No. No. I'm not going to get into the politics of all that, but that's a big no-no for me, and it makes me angry. That it's like, rich people can get up the front, but working class people who can't afford that, or it'll cost them an arm and leg to afford that, they either have to bankrupt themselves or they have to sit further back. And I just think that's gets my goat. But I'm not going to go into the politics of that one because this isn't a politics channel. This is a music channel. But I don't like it nonetheless. But they better be good. You know what I mean? They better deliver. I don't want any of this nonsense from buddy John going, I don't really do it for my fans anymore. Like he had that big rant years ago where every time I was on the stage, I never really enjoyed it and I faked it and I never did this, that and the other and blah, 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 blah. I don't want any of that. Because if you're going to do it, you do it. You do it for your fans. They're the reason you're there in the first place. You give them what they require because they're the ones, fundamentally. Some of these people have paid up to 300 quid to go and see you to play, to be at the front, to be close to you. And if you're going to go on stage at night, even if you're having a bad night, and just go, no, I'm just going to phone it in. Get off the stage. Get off the stage and let somebody else be on there then, because I don't care who you are, that's a no-no. I'm not saying they're going to do that, but I'm not being funny. John hasn't exactly proven himself in the recent last time he was, in his past to be exactly Mr. Consistent. You know what I mean? It worries me. It scares the bejesus out of me of how he is. I love the man, don't get me wrong, but my God, the pressure's on him. It's on him. People are going to see the Chili Peppers because he's back. They're not necessarily going to see him because of Chad, Anthony and Flea. They're going to see it because John's back and they're a whole again. You know what I mean? So that pressure's on John. And we all know what John's like when this kind of rock and roll pressure gets to him. He tends to quit or not want to do it. And you can't tell John, oh, just do it. He just won't do it. He's that way, which is fine. That's who he is. But I just don't want him leaving fans wanting, especially not after paying what they've paid. Like I say, I'm not buying a ticket. I don't think I would even buy it, even if I could afford it. I don't think I'd buy a ticket just on a simple fact of principle, which may sound a bit stupid, but for me, it's not fair. I saw them in Hyde Park for 45 quid, and that came with James Brown on the support bill. I saw him at Don Valley Stadium in 2006 for 45 quid as well. So it's just a bit ridiculous, you know. 50, 60 quid I could get. 50, 60 quid for that, I can get that. That's cool. 300 quid for Golden Circle, you are having a laugh. And I know this isn't the band's fault. This is management and Ticketmaster capitalising on the fact that John Frusciante's back in the band and they can make an absolute killing off this because it's just the fact of John's back. But it's dangerous. And I just really hope they deliver for the people who have bought the fans. The people who have sacrificed to go there, they better deliver. Because these people deserve so much now. Especially the people who couldn't afford it and are doing it anyway. They deserve so much. They deserve everything that they can give. And if they don't deliver on that, then that is not, it's just not fair. It's disgusting. And I can't stand behind that at that point. It'd be just vile. And that's my worry. That is my worry. I don't want them to go on stage all moany or whatever. It's like, you know, if you're going to moan about it, get off the stage. You know, you're having a bad night. Some of these people have paid more than what they could to see you, just to see you. Get on there and do your job. You know, bit of professionalism, which John sometimes forgets, I feel. And he kind of gets carried away in his own little world and becomes a bit diva-ish. And, you know, I love him to bits. But that attitude, I can understand it, but I can't condone it. You know what I mean? You know, it's not fun, but you can't condone that kind of attitude, especially when people have paid that much to see you. And especially how much people love him as well. You know what I mean? You've got to treat people with respect, and he hasn't exactly shown much respect for his fans in previous years. He really hasn't. You know, some of the things he said in interviews, he hasn't really shown much respect for the Chili Peppers either. I mean, he basically gave them a good drubbing when he first left the band. In certain interviews, he would have a go at them, you know, saying, I don't want to do pop music anymore, or this, that, and the other, and whatever. And it's just like, well, I don't know. But I know it's not the band's fault. I'm not blaming Flea, Anthony, Chad, or John. This is solely directed at management and Ticketmaster and all these people who are behind that in that world for just basically capitalising on the fact that John's back, and they know they can put ticket prices up to astronomical fees, and people, because they want to see John play, will do it. But there's a lot of sad comments, that really upsetting comments that I get, is like, this might be the only chance I ever get to see John live, which basically means to me that people are thinking the same thing that I'm thinking, of which this might be the last tour he ever does, because he might not make it to another album, because he might go, I don't want to do this. Because my fear is, again, and obviously like people are fearing, is like he's going to go on tour, remember what it's like, not like it. He hasn't done it for 10 years. That's a decade he hasn't toured for. A lot of things change. You know, he might just get back on tour and go, oh, I remember why I hate this. I don't want to do it. And then at that point, he quits again. You know, like I say, he's not Mr. Consistent. And if John wants to quit, he'll quit. There's no stopping him. We all know that. So, which is fine. But you can't do it when your fans have waited and you've dangled the carrot in front of their face. You know, I'm not saying this is the way it is, but there's a lot of pressures going on at this point in time. And John ain't a stupid man. He'll know that a lot of these people are coming to see him play, and he's not stupid enough to ignore that. But like I say, I won't be going to see the Chili Peppers. No, it kind of breaks my heart because I would love to see them, but I can't condone the ticket prices. I don't want people to buy me a ticket. I don't. I would just, I'd just rather step back on this one. If you do have a ticket to the Chili Peppers, go. And I hope it's awesome. I hope you get to see John, and I hope it's mega and have a great time. And if they don't deliver, throw things at them. No, I don't condone that. I'm just joking. Well, maybe a rotten tomato, maybe. But, no, not that. But you know what I mean? Like, no, they better be good for you. That's all I'm going to say is, like, I hope they're awesome. I really do. I hope there's no phoning it in. I'm sure they will be. They're an amazing band. I've seen them twice live. I mean, that's not many times, but they're amazing both times. So I find it hard to believe they wouldn't be. But I hope it's going to be amazing for you, and I'm sure you'll have a wicked time. Hopefully, but yeah, like I say, the ticket prices, it was way out of my price range. I couldn't afford it right now. I've got far too much life stuff to pay for. But I can't really what's the word? I can't stretch to it, if that makes any sense. Anyway, but that's all I'm going to say on that one. Anyway, hope that's such a question, people with Tube. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on that one as well. Other than that, if you like this video and you like the videos I've done on this channel, please consider becoming a patron at Patreon. Link to that is in the description box below. If you want to submit a question for A&Q Wednesday, description box for that, email for that is in the description box below. He's so clever. Other than that, thank you much indeed, and I'll see you again tomorrow for another video. We're going to be looking at this guitar tomorrow, people of the Tube. Fender Road Worn. It's not mine. This is on loan again. But I forgot how cool Road Worns are. Anyway, but yeah, we're going to talk. We'll talk about this tomorrow, and we'll hear it tomorrow, and we'll see it tomorrow. Till then, have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. Goodbye now. Filthy gorgeous stuff.